So, when we last left off, the party had met back up at Savorian's stay, the original, and they discussed about how their day went, and seeming destruction was on its way. Kavoria and Ignacio told that Ignacio had sent the Kagashi family off to his hometown for the weekend, while you all made plans to go about as normal, but just prepare. The girls had a lovely flight over Durlin on the back of a Mivolon. And Sienna got to test out her new spell, Featherfall, by jumping off of a tree.
I just realized you're right. She'd never cast that before. That could have gone terribly wrong.
Oh my god.
But good news for Sienna. It went correct. But it freaked out her party members afterwards. It was like, oh gosh. All while Ignacio and Kavoria had some time alone together while the children were out playing. And then Elery and Serephina had a lovely heart-to-heart as well.
Wait, we did?
Yeah, we did.
I'm totally kidding. Totally kidding.
And then...
We did. We did.
You did. And then...
No, it wasn't that funny.
I enjoyed it.
And then...
I'm so sorry, Shayla.
Sienna, back at the inn, got some guidance from Beyond the Veil by Sunara.
Oh, yeah.
Though she wouldn't admit it. 'Cause she's a stinker.
Of course I wouldn't admit it.
We love you. It's fine.
And got pointed out to a certain passage and then had a vision as she tried to sleep. In the morning, Sienna slipped some notes underneath the doors. And that is where we'll pick up. I'm going to fix one other thing on my end. But Serephina and Elery, you notice a note slipped underneath the door from Sienna. Sienna, do you want to say what is on that note?
Sure. It's very simply scribbled. It just says, good morning. I will be at Maka blacksmith, at Maka's blacksmith, Maka smithery. She probably wrote down all three of those things and was like, I'll be at the blacksmith. Like,
they're all crossed out.
You're all crossed out, exactly. You guys were definitely the first note that I wrote because Ignacio and Kavoria's does not have that. And it just says, I'll be at the blacksmith when you wake up. I am working. Feel free to stop by. However you would like to proceed. All of that is said on that note.
Right. So, Serephina, Elery, how do you go about that news?
Serephina is probably gonna go get some breakfast, and then she's probably gonna head down to the blacksmithery.
Yeah, I imagine... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just gonna say, because I'm guessing she still needs to buy a component for one of her spells. I can't remember which one.
It's 2 lodestones, and I've already got you. That's okay. You don't know that.
Oh, okay. Alright, cool. She's gonna head down to the blacksmithery, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to imagine that they had... Is this a shared note, or is this a note for each one of them?
It's a shared note, so it was
It's a
just
shared
it was
note.
slipped under the door. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I imagine that she probably Elery, probably just like waited for Serephina to read it, and then Serephina relayed that information, and Elery just kind of gave like a, like whatever you want to do, I guess, and is just gonna follow Serephina for a little bit.
Okay. As you guys head out, you notice Kavoria leaving the room as well, the room next door. She's like, "Oh, good morning."
Good morning. Slept well.
I did. I slept really well.
Dumb little grin in response.
Ignacio is still sleeping, so I'm gonna let him rest.
Nice. Serephina and I were just going down to get some things to eat. Join us?
Of course. Let us head downstairs. And she'll lead the way to downstairs. And you all have a seat at this table right here. And you see this gnomish woman literally hop over the counter and run over to you, be like, "Oh, good morning. You're with the dwarf, right? Sienna, right?"
Elery nods.
Yeah, okay. So if you see her today, let her know some letters came in for her. But can I get you guys any breakfast?
For the table, please. All of us. Yes.
Okay, awesome. I'll bring coffee as well. And she literally hops back over the counter and heads into the back.
I love her.
Kavoria is like, "Oh, well, yeah, I read the letter that Sienna was over at the smithy today."
She has been there very early. Yes.
I believe so. I kind of recall when the letter was slipped in under the door.
Did oh, excuse me. Sorry, remind me here, Mel. The letter said, like, why she was at the smithy, or we are aware why she was at the smithy.
I think she just said that she's working on stuff or that she's working at the smithy, but I don't think she specified what exactly.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Yeah.
Okay, then Elery will look over at Kavoria, and she works with many tools, does she not?
She
many,
does. Yeah.
the word. Compass. No. Components. Yes.
Components. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Works with many things. But difference. She'll turn to Serephina. But different than how you do your magic. Yes.
Much different, yes.
I see. I have never felt it so strongly before, but there is much about the Welt that's Welt? What was that? There's much about the world at large. I'm learning more and more about. It is not a small village in the woods. It's
So much bigger.
so much bigger than that.
Yeah. As you are talking, Savorian very tenderly, noticing the conversation, sets breakfast in front of you, as well as a coffee cup each in front of you, and just heads away. And hops back over the... Yes, the world is much larger than you know.
You know, and she kind of gives Kavoria kind of like this knowing look. It has not always been the case for me. But every once in a while, I will find myself wishing that I was able to learn more from, she eyeballs Serephina, and she starts to kind of blush a little bit, from books. I feel very, I feel much like I did when I was hunting for the first time, and I did not have the right tools and nets and anything else in place, and there were so many others who had to teach me how to do what I know how to do best. It's, you, and she, she looks over to Serephina, you have your way of doing things, and they are different from Ignacio, and they are different from Sienna, and I do not know the first thing about how it all works, but you do, and I don't know that I could understand why you need so many components, but perhaps they are like, perhaps they are similar in a way to what I use, and you get the impression as she's kind of talking more and more, that she's probably rehearsed this as part of the night has gone on, since she has had, she's gone and gotten herself, you know, some parchment and ink and that kind of thing, that
Right.
there's kind of like a practice to this, and though she speaks a little bit more confidently, there's still a bit of like reservation, a little bit of guardedness, maybe even a little embarrassment tied into the whole thing. Is that not a fine way to compare? Maybe not. I'm not sure. It was the only thing that I could think of that made some kind of sense to me. Different tools for different persons makes a different result, yes?
Yes,
Yes.
I believe so.
It can be exhausting if you think about it too much.
Yes, again.
Unfortunately.
Right. Well, I guess you will have to forgive me then if I am catching up. Not exactly on there's a lot. I've learned a lot. It's more than I've learned in a while. It's tiring. What are we supposed to do today? And now she's like starting to, the shoulders are kind of to come up a little bit, and she's kind of sinking in herself a little bit.
Yeah.
As you say this, Seraphina, you notice a figure walk in. And
Oh, shit.
notice you.
Bow, tickle, bow.
Oh, You, sorry, I forgot to get your name, and he walks over.
He's talking to Serephina, correct?
Uh-huh.
Serephina.
Lumo. Lumo Kagashi.
Pleasure.
So, here's the thing. I did not know this when I had asked you out for dinner tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So, my other mom met the Revenge champion. Kavaria will speak up. Yes, Lumira, right? Yeah, she's my other mom. So yeah, we're going out of town for the weekend, and we're getting ready to leave. Like I said, if I had known this beforehand, I wouldn't have offered.
It's completely fine. Understandable. Not to worry.
I do have a little bit of time. You think maybe we could have breakfast together?
I don't see why not. Gabora?
Yes.
Elery, is that alright?
I think it's quite fine.
Elery looks at Serephina when she asks the question, and then looks at this new arrival and narrows her eyes. And says nothing.
No mind, my friend. Of course, I'll have breakfast with you. Excuse us.
Honestly, here would probably be the best place to have it, because we're gonna have to pass by here to get out of the village. So,
Insight check.
go for it.
What is? I move on my shit around here. Okay. I say as though my wisdom is awesome. Yeah, no, natural one.
Oh,
I can trust this guy as far as I can throw him.
You got a nat 20 on when he asked her out on a date.
I know.
Yeah, why
That's
gotta
so
call him
funny.
out like-
That is poetic.
She will just like eagle like in anime when the figure comes up from the background and like the face is completely dark but the eyes are like these little shings and there's like a cloak over there, whatever. Like she is watching this dude. As they go and is like super not subtly at all staring at the two of them while they go off and have breakfast together.
He'll lead you over to this table. He'll grab whatever breakfast you had in front of you, Serephina. And
table. Elery will grab her stuff and move to this chair.
I love you. Oh my god.
And after a moment, Sephoran walks over and lays some breakfast in front of Lumor, and then heads back.
Trails her fingers along the handle of her axe, staring at the table.
Ooh.
Not like that.
Oh, I know that. I was there.
So, where are you from?
Give me a second. My mind just went blank. It'd be Creaty, correct?
You were born on Creaty, and I would say even at this point, like, you've heard that saying Captoria is not the best idea. but of course it's your judgment of what Seraphina would say automatically.
She's not gonna exactly specify where she's from. She's just gonna say that she was born and not created, born and from Creati.
Okay. Oh, you're from the main city.
Mhm.
Creati. My mom's
Yes.
Lumira is from Creati.
Oh,
Yeah. My mother, my direct mom, was born in Killeen. So,
I see.
yeah.
And what about you?
I was born here. My second mom had a friend named Janori, and he's been kind of helping my mom, Shara, and my other mom, Lumira, have kids.
Oh, all right.
It's kind of a similar situation that Lady Clarana and the Aizawa husbands have.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you doing all right?
I really don't want to leave,
Mm.
but
Have you told them that?
I have. But my mom, Shara, brought up a good point. I am the oldest one here at the house of all of their children. And I have 4 little brothers and sisters that I need to help take care of.
Understand.
And they are way younger than me. So,
They little?
uh, probably about children age.
I see.
So, and then of course, Mom Lumira is pregnant as well. So, having an extra hand around to help with them is a good hand.
Congratulations to her.
You know, we've been suspecting that my mom, Shara, is also pregnant.
Oh?
Which is going to be interesting. For sure.
Could Seraphina ever tell if someone was pregnant with her being a cleric?
It would be a medicine check, but it would be a very high DC.
Okay.
But,
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to figure that out.
Maybe when we get back. Because we're only supposed to be there for the weekend. So. Someplace called Zoshikokan.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Well, hopefully I won't be going anywhere anytime soon.
I hope, because when I get back, I am definitely taking you out for dinner.
She blushes redly. Sounds wonderful.
You see, coming up to the door, a blonde, elf female, walking up, and you can definitely tell she's pregnant, but she's just starting to show. Lumo, are you ready? Yeah, Mom. I'll be there in 2 minutes. All right.
Where is she on the map? Am I just blind?
No, I just haven't put her on the map.
Oh, okay.
That's not me. Hang on.
Distress, though.
Seraphina does want to
Very cute.
congratulate his mother on the pregnancy.
There she is.
No.
Yeah, to be fair, when you have COVID, you feel like you're hallucinating sometimes, so I don't
Facts.
blame you at all.
No, facts. That's real.
No, yeah.
Is it Lamira?
Lumira, yeah.
Mrs. Lamira, before you leave,
Yes.
congratulations on the pregnancy.
Thank you. Two minutes, no more. Of course, Mother. And she heads back out.
She's so pretty.
Well, Serephina, if nothing were to happen over this weekend, and he reaches out and he takes your hand, like kind of like picking it up like he's about to give it a kiss, and says, "So I hope you would wait for me," and kisses your hand.
She'll go bright red, and she'll go. Of course.
In the background, there's and Elery is just like taking her coffee, like slammed it back on the table.
Kaphoria jumps herself like, Elery, it's just a kiss on the hand.
I don't trust him.
I think he's fine.
I will definitely wait for you.
Perfect. And he gives it yet another kiss and walks away.
She'll yell out, please stay safe along with your family.
So you better run.
We will.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Don't you worry. We will. And heads out the door. So, who was that? And Kaphoria, now you gotta remember, Kaphoria wasn't there when this all went down yesterday.
That was Lemore. What was it, Yagashi?
Kagashi.
Kagashi. Yes, it was Lemore Kagashi. I was taking on jobs yesterday, blessing families with prayers, and he asked me out for dinner, and turns out his family's got to go somewhere this weekend, so...
Yeah, that may be Ignacio's fault. Honestly, it would bring him peace of mind. So... But,
so close to getting laid. Damn. Sorry, continue.
But I can't believe he did good. He's cute.
Thank you.
He's dishonest. I don't like him.
Oh, well, how do you know he's dishonest?
No person should go and ask you for some sharing of meal or a drink, knowing that they are going to leave. At least could wait to guarantee more time. There are different ways that they could go about this. It
was just a last minute thing, Elery.
I mean, he did say that when he did ask her, he had no idea.
I appreciate you caring, though, Elery, greatly.
We all have to look after one another. especially since the threat of the Fallen is around.
Indeed.
Well, maybe we can get a head start on maybe getting some information about the quests that we're going to take.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Savorin comes out with 3 cups that have a fashioned lid on them. And
Sorry, my mind was going there, but I was like, styrofoam, like the plastic styrofoam cup. Like, sorry.
no, you're good. And she lays them down on the table. Just make sure you bring the mugs back. All right?
Yes, thank you.
Have a good day. And she once again just jumps over.
Yeah, and as she goes to leave, Elery will reach inside her cloak and just look at the others. It's on me today, and will just hand an amount. What would the cost of breakfast and everything be?
For the 3 of you, total would be 20 silver. And that's with the to-go coffees.
20 silver. Okay. Ellery's just gonna straight up just hand her like 2 gold.
Okay. All right. Who should we go to first? I know we were gonna do the giant rats, the dynamox. Was there another one that we wanted to do?
I certainly know that I have my own desire, but I, of course, will understand if that is not what the others wish to do.
Oh, and I think Ignacio wanted to do the direwolves. Well, 2 of them needs to see Councilwoman Hideko. The giant rats are Councilwoman Yagami, and I think you wanted to go to the storehouse, right, Elery?
Yes. I have my own preference for some hunting as well, but whatever helps everyone else, I will also be able to do as well.
Of course.
Awkward smile.
No, it's fine. Why don't we, well, if I know... I don't know, I really don't. I know that we were there when the twins were born yesterday, so it wouldn't surprise me if Councilwoman Hideko is still at the Azala Manor. We could start there. And we could maybe swing by the smithery on the way.
Most definitely.
Check in on Sienna, make sure she's doing all right.
Yes, please.
All right. And the 3 of you are going to stop by the smithery, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hang on a second. I have to ungroup Coforia from Ignacio, because of course they're tied at the hip.
Oh no.
What time of day? Like, what time is it roughly?
I would say they probably got up around maybe 8 or 9. So
Perfect.
we're about like the 10 o'clock, 10:30 hour.
Excellent.
So Kavoria will lead you to the smithery because, as you recall, she has been to the smithery here. And let me get one thing ready. I believe at this time, if I'm remembering correctly, you were just starting to take your first break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think because it's a early rising group that lunch is about now.
No, lunch was around noon still.
It was around noon? Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, it would have been just the first, like, getting some water. And I would have just finished the rings, and I would be moving on to the alloy at this point.
Okay. So, the group of you have made it to the smithery. Kavoria walks right on in. I almost called her Maka. Walks right in, and do you guys follow?
Yeah, Elery,
Yeah.
as always, will be behind Serephina.
I'm just taking a little snacky. That's
It's fine. Take a snacky snack.
wow.
And Kavoria goes, Laurna. Oh, Kavoria, it is so good to see you again. And this human female walks around the counter. Dark skin complexion, short but straight black hair, 2 braids at the side, brown eyes. She walks around and she gives Kavoria a hug. They are very familiar with one another. How is Maka? Oh, she's wonderful. She is with a guest smith today. Let me go see if they're available to talk. And Laurna will walk away and come in. Sienna. Laurna opens the door and be like, "Oh, Maka, Sienna.
Oh.
And there's some guests out here. I think you said that you had friends that were also in town that may be stopping by."
I did. They got my note. Oh, fantastic. Yes.
I think I think that may be them out there. I recognize Kavoria, so.
Oh, yes, that's definitely them. That is definitely them, then.
Maka.
She'll put down whatever she's working on and start to, like, try to press the frizzies down with very little success.
Maka would be like, "Yeah, I'll go out with you," and Laurna and I'll drag you too, because that's how it happened. I went to grab just those two, and I grabbed Sienna as well. I was like, "Okay, this is it. This is how it. This is it."
It knew.
Kavoria goes,
Hello, good morning.
"Good morning."
Good morning.
What? Where is our champion?
Well, he's still sleeping in.
Ah, good for
Exhausted
him.
from our friend here.
Yeah. And Kavoria just ends it like she doesn't quite know how to say it, but it's understood.
Yep. And Sienna just looks at Serephina, grinning. She knows. Good morning. And she'd sort of like gesture to herself. She is drenched in sweat. She's wearing like a black sort of sports bra crop top situation with tighter like leggings as pants, and she's got steel-toed boots specifically for this. And she just, instead of her like hammers that you would normally see her out adventuring with, she has her blacksmith tools. So you'd see like thick iron tongs, and you'd see goggles on her head that have definitely like left a slight imprint around her eyes from smithing all morning. And she just looks a mess, but she looks so goddamn happy. Like when somebody who loves working out gets back from the gym, it's that kind of energy.
Maka is standing back there, arms crossed. Oh, so you gonna introduce us?
Oh, I should. I'm so sorry. Yes, it seems, Laurna, you already know Kavoria.
And I recognize Kavoria as well. It's nice to see you.
Fantastic. And then,
Of course.
this is Elery. She would gesture to Elery and say, Elery, this is Maka and Laurna.
Ellery will do the little respectful head nod.
And then last but certainly not least, it's Serephina. Same thing, gesturing back and forth. Serephina, this is Maka and Laurna as well.
Pleasure to meet you both.
Pleasure. So, how long have you been traveling together?
Who is the question directed to?
To everyone.
Okay.
I've recently started, and
4 days.
yeah, about the same time.
Then Serafina, you and I have been probably the longest out of this group. About 2 weeks now, so not long. We are very fresh but fast friends.
I know how that is.
Indeed.
You see Maka, her arms are crossed, kind of like in her picture here. Arms crossed, her long black hair tied back into a very tight braid. That is now, you can see pinned up. She's folded it and pinned it to itself, just so it's up out of the way of the forge. And her hammering away. You can see an apron on her. And actually, you notice there is a fresh cut, Sienna. It looks like maybe one of the pieces bounced back on her, but she's fine. No blood, no nothing. The apron took the brunt.
Got it. And she would gesture to it and say, "This morning's battle scars."
Of course.
Always.
Always.
She'd just smile.
You
said
guys
you
are...
know how that is. Do you adventure often?
Nah, we don't. The only adventuring we did was getting here.
Very fair.
And I barely remember it. But,
Also very fair.
yeah. If you don't mind me, I do have a piece I am working on that needs to be done within the next couple of minutes. So,
Of course.
stick around for as long as you guys want. If you have any questions, my wife here, Laurna, can answer any questions. And she just gives
Thank you very much.
two-finger salute as she walks back
Lesbian
into her
salute.
forge.
Is that thespian salute? Is that what you just said?
I said lesbian salute, yes.
Oh yeah.
Same thing.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic. I'm glad you are. Yeah, I'm in the middle of making an alloy for something. Oh my goodness, there's been so much this morning. For the Savorian too. But Serafina, I finished this for you. And she would walk over to you, Serafina, and she would hand you a ring that looks like what I just posted inside chat. And for folks on stream, that's what it looks like. It's a platinum ring that is adjustable and braided. And you would see there's an identical one that Sienna holds up. And she says, this ring is something that I'm planning to use for a spell that will help protect you in the battlefield. It's something that enables the spell that I might ask for if we need to protect somebody else, or see how that works. But for now, I wanted you to be the first to wear it.
I really, really appreciate that.
I hope you like it. It's certainly
I love
nothing
it.
compared to what Laurna can make. And she would gesture to Laurna, who is an expert goldsmith and makes beautiful rings.
Well, They are really good. Don't sell yourself short.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. It's very new.
I mean, after all, you know me. I'm good at what I do. I'm good at what I spot. But these are really good.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I honestly, if I could have just said platinum do the thing, I would have. But that's sadly the spell calls specifically for rings. So sometimes we are forced to learn new things.
And if you
But
ever
it was
want to
fun.
learn more, I'm always free to teach you.
She lights up. She's just like, please, that would be amazing.
course.
Your work is so good. I would love to learn. Actually, I should probably tell them. And she would like nod her head back toward her group, and like raise her eyebrows to Laurna. I should probably tell them that I'll be here often. No?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind having you around a lot more. As long as you're free. I'm not gonna take you away from your party.
I appreciate it. At least a couple hours every day if I can. She'll turn around to the group and just say, I got a job. Just like her arms are out. I'll be helping these amazing establishments get caught up on a bit of a backlog of orders. It should be able to make a difference for the periods of time that we are here. So, and I look forward to it. I love smithing so much. I missed it. So this is going to be very good.
Elery is going. She's kind of gonna eyeballing you as you've, come in and has seen, the energy that you've come in with, and how excited you are. She gives you just like this little smile. You seem very happy here, in your
Space.
yes, with your Wow, this is awful. Ellery can't remember the word, and Harper can't remember the word either.
Do you mean like in my element? Oh, because I appreciate
No, I'm trying.
it.
Oh my god, I'm trying to think of the word that I used at the table. That she was like, "It's this, right?" And
Are you
and
talking
both
about
Serephina and Kavert were like, "Yes,
components?
this. Components." Yes, thank you.
Amazing.
Wait. Yeah, it's a natural 4. Okay. It's from, that was a Harper roll. That wasn't an all roll.
Oh no.
Yeah, she you seem happy. These are your and her eyes shift back and forth from Serephina and Kavoria. Components to your strengths, abilities, yes?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Thank you so much. Yes, making things is my favorite. I love making things, especially useful things. Useful things are my favorites. As much as I can help make something that makes something easier for people, it just makes me really happy. And I don't. This isn't my smith, so I don't. Sometime I look forward to showing you the space where I do this work because it's quite. I don't know. I think it's special. I like it a lot. But thank you. I'm quite happy. Like definitely happier than Sienna's been. Like Sienna's been very like in her own head about everything, like the events going on, and this has definitely like gotten her out of her head for a second, which is nice.
Ellery gives her a small, kind of fond smile. Whatever you would like to show, I would be okay with taking it in. Of course, you'd have to probably tell me about it. It's not my. You look happy.
Thank you. And she would definitely return the fond smile. Just like that sort of there's the facial expression, and the best subtext I can give it is thanks for noticing me. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like that. You actually see what's going on with me, and I really appreciate that. I think she would turn to Laurna and just go, It's not my smith, Laurna, but I would love to at least show them through the door what we were working on with the alloy. Is that all right, do you think? Or do you,
I was just about to say, if you want to go show them, feel free.
please?
I just
Thank you.
do ask for your friends to make sure that you be careful.
Of course, of course. We will maintain good safety protocols.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, follow me. This is, I am a guest here. This is not my forge, but a lovely person, Maka's brother, has allowed me to borrow his smith for the day. So she would walk you toward the back to these double doors here while Lorna's speaking with the customer that came in. And she would open the door and she would gesture to this like tree stump here and just say, if everyone would just do me a favor and stay around that tree stump would be great. Just for safety. And y'all would, when the door opens and you move in, you're gonna feel a solid 30-degree jump in temperature because the forge is going at what would have to be about 4,000 degrees Fahrenheit inside of it to actually make the platinum melt. And she would have just finished that. So it's cooling. And what you would see laid out along the floor here, just sort of like along in a horizontal line all the way to the forge. And she would gesture to it and she'll explain, these like different sheets of metal, and she would kind of stand close to Elery and just like, these are components, like you said. I can put these into the fire and it makes the metal, it can melt into liquid or it can simply soften. And depending on what I'm trying to do, I can shape it. I can shape the metal into new things. So, like for your axe, for example, the smith that created it would have had a mold for the axe head. They would have put the metal, and so she would sort of step over a little bit and then gently, like, try to guide Elery without being invasive, if that makes sense. So just like a little bit of a like hand on the arm pulling you over, but keeping literally this distance away where Sienna's standing.
Okay.
And she would point to no, you can, she pulls you in.
Yeah, I thought
she
so.
yeah, she just wants you to see like inside the forge, but she's also holding you back.
Distance away from each other.
Yeah. And she's like, so do you see the sheets of metal in there? They are right now the forge is running quite hot, so be careful as you look at it. But that white color that is there, when I go to pull the metal out, will cool down and eventually turn back into a normal like silver, like what you have on your weapons or anything you might use. And then we can make anything. We can cut them into little strips, and she would gesture to Serephina and say, and make jewelry like what we made for Serephina. We can make an alloy. Alloys are when I take one sheet and she'll point like with her toe, she'll point to a sheet of iron, which is there like on her left, and she'll say you can take one metal, which is like this one. This is iron, and you can mix it with another one like this one. This one is steel. And depending on if you do it right, and I'm only having so much success here, I think I'm running the smith too hot, to be honest. The forge do what, I'll figure it out. But if you get this right, you get properties from both of those metals, and you can create something even better by mixing it together. Yeah, so that is what we're doing, and hopefully I can help to repair some very old metalwork that was in the inn where we are staying. There was I didn't even notice it at first, but there was a beautiful art piece, very old but damaged, that Savoran asked if I could fix, and with any luck we can fix it. That's what I thought. I'm sorry.
Elery has had your undivided attention the entire time that you've been talking. And while you have been talking, she, like, you know, pointing out steel, pointing out iron, she's nodding her head, like she's like really paying attention and really kind of absorbing what you're talking about. And looks around looks around at everything, kind of takes it all in again, and like the heat of the room and how in your element you look. And she'll nod and think for a second. And these are the things you do. There's Serephina has what she does, what her strengths are, and this clearly makes you happy. This is something that you want to learn, that you enjoy doing. And the whole time that she says it, it's not necessarily that she's stammering over her words, but she is making direct eye contact with you. And it's like an appreciation. You can kind of feel that from her words.
Can I roll an insight check? And it's not even to like necessarily see anything hidden, but I just want to see if I'm noticing this is a change, because I'm noticing as player it's a change, but I'm wondering if Sienna's picking up on it.
Go for it.
God damn it, Dice, why do you hate me?
I don't know. I mean, I could roll deception against you, and we could. And
well, is Elery
let
trying
the
to hide it? I think honestly, Sienna's just sometimes dense about this stuff. But she rolled a 5 on the die, and that's plus a 5 insight, so it's a 10. It's not terrible.
Hold up. Let me get it.
My girl go.
Oof. That's a natural 19.
Oh yeah. I think anything you want me to think about what's on your face right now.
She's definitely no, you wouldn't know that because you rolled a 5 or you rolled a 10. Yep. I would say that you would pick this up as her being able to follow you and to understand what you're saying, and that she and that there is an appreciation for what you do.
It's so. I will explain at the end of the game if we don't get there during game by why this is so beautifully tragic. But okay. Sienna's just she's really happy. She stays in that sort of giddy state the whole time, and she is smiling back at you and like so excited to be able to share this with you, especially just like that new friendship and be able to share this part of herself. And she just says, "Yes, I've been doing this in some form since I was 10, I think. This was the first time they let me into the forge." I grew up.
So you understand this well then?
Yes.
What you are doing?
Yes. Just like with you and hunting. I mean, I've only seen you in action once with the Dynamarks, but you know exactly what you're doing. Yes. You know where to eat. You know how to examine what the animal is doing.
Well, yes, but this is this has its own difference. You have this ring that you have made for Serephina, and that is amazing that you have been able to take what you have here and create something like that. I have so many more items, jewelry and things that I have seen made from bone, not as much steel that you would see, at least not that I have given to any of the experts. The jewel makers in town. Basically, I give them the bones. Muscle, skin goes to different places to remove tendons, and bone is used to make much of jewelry that we have. I must be honest, and she blushes, but she's already pretty red anyway from the temperature of the
From the
room.
heat, yeah.
So it's like it's like she just turns redder. And, I do not know there are different steel metal is all metal, yes. That you could combine that you could fit together to make different things. I do not know very much about how the jewelry makers use the bone to make what we wear, but it is it's beyond what I know how to do. But you describe it well, and I think it is because you love it.
Sienna's just beaming back at you. I would love to see. Have you ever made any of the bone jewelry, or is it more you've just seen the craftsman converts what you have hunted into these beautiful things?
No, I do not craft much. Netting and anything that I can use to hunt is more what I am able to do. I can knit nets together, and I can even take care of clothes or things if need be. You never know when you have accidentally moved somewhere and part of your tunic or something has a slash, a hole in it that needs to be mended. But anything outside of I could take a creature and I could show you best to skin to remove muscle, tendon, where ancestor goes for the strings in bows and other things. But jewelry is a fine craft. I have only ever taken what bone I can and have given it to someone in exchange for money, usually. And her hands very briefly come out from like under her cloak, and I mean the ring that she's wearing that you've noticed that she has before is not made out of bone, but it's like maybe just a little tight, and she she holds out her hands very briefly. I have they are big. It's a difference from others, so it is easier to not bother. I've never tried beyond this, obviously. And then she like quickly tucks her hands back into her cloak. No, the answer is no. No, I have not.
That is okay. First of all, I would love to learn. Next time we are skinning an animal or taking the spoils from your aunt, I would love to learn if you would be willing to teach me anything you know about everything. You know so much about this. In some ways, you're very much like a druid. The people that use magic from the earth. From the soil and the creatures, they're very in tune with the way that mana, the fuel for magic, flows through those things naturally. It just exists in the world, and your attunement to how to take the parts of an animal that you have slain, and use it well, and make sure that it is respected and that everything gets used. You have the art of a druid, and she's just smiling at you, because like there's a lot of related to druids going on with her brain right now. But specifically just like organic crafting. She's super like, and she's sort of like trying to figure out how to get that out, and she's saying like, I would love to learn from you, and if you are all right with it, DM, feel free to stop me, but would you mind if I looked at your ring?
And she doesn't angle completely away from you, but there is this sort of nervous like hitch a little, because the room is so warm, and because the ring is already tight. When she like shifts a little, and you can kind of see the fumbling under her cloak, but like that finger is swollen, that ring's not going anywhere, and she's kind of like, oh shit, like, you know,
Oh no,
like worrying at it a little bit.
Hold on. Actually, if you're having trouble with it, because I know you mentioned it was tight, come here, and she would walk you over to this this bin right here. And she would reach in and she would pull out a little tiny corked bottle of oil, and she would uncork it, and she would just like, get a little bit on her finger, recork it. May I? And she would hold her left hand out she would gesture toward taking your hand.
She holds out her hand, but it's not like her whole hand. It's like it's like 4 out of 5 fingers are like, she's like pointing at you, basically. like here is the finger, and here is the ring. and is like just kind of this would, outside of the few times that she has actually willfully like let her hands be exposed, this is the first time she's like definitively putting it out there in a situation where you would be able to observe just how like kind of leathered and scarred like her fingers and her knuckles are, but there is only a moment's hesitation, and then she just reaches out that one finger.
Sienna smiles, huge smile at you, and like gives you a not a slow nod, but just like a thank you, almost a reassurance sort of head gesture. And like your hand is made of glass and feathers, Sienna slips her hand under yours and steps a little closer and puts a little bit of oil on either side of the ring. And she's the way that she touches is like tiny, gentle swipes. Not, she's not doing anything super consciously, but she's being extremely gentle with you, knowing that you're somebody that, like, I could have like shoved your finger into the oil and you would have been probably okay. Like, she's being intentional and respectful of this gesture from Elery of Trust. And then she would say, try it now.
So I'm going to, for character's sake, DM, I'd like to roll another inside check on her.
Go for it.
Right. This actually might be more like Harper's curiosity than anything else, but the dice tell a story, and that's more fun.
Yes, they do.
God, piece of... Okay.
Oh, no.
God, this is perfect. Oh, no.
Natural 5 with no modifier. So Elery's just like... It's not a full out hesitation, hand is held out, knows this is what you're doing, self-conscious. Like, she can't quite tell if you're being nice to be nice, or if you're being nice to be nice.
Being nice to be nice.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
But there's definitely a little bit of like rigidity maybe not totally intentional, but it is there.
Yeah, and I think Sienna passive insight 15. I think Sienna
Oh
would.
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, she would catch it at least enough
Mhm.
to where.
Oh, that would have been 6. You still would have gotten it though. So still doesn't matter.
Perfect. I think she catches on a little bit, but I'm not 100% sure that she reads it properly. This is Sienna being socially awkward in that she doesn't have a lot of experience with social cues, especially one-on-one social cues. So she's trying, and she's there's no like suspicion. There's a sense within her that she desperately tries to hide. So this is what I'm rolling deception on, that
Okay.
she might have done something wrong.
Mhm.
4. Okay, hold on. What do I have for deception?
Oh hell yeah, we're dumb as fuck today. This
We're
is
so
great.
dumb. That's a +1. That's a strong 5 on my deception.
Strong.
Guys, they're behaving
Oh.
wonderfully.
That's not just a strong 5. That is a strong 5.
That's a strong 5.
I mean, would that insight roll like carry over? Like, because it would be a 6.
I think I honestly think that with that shitty roll from Sienna that Elery might get the sense that Sienna's misread it, but I don't know what Elery would do with that information.
Yeah.
I would say she misreads it. And how would Elery read it?
That sort of slight embarrassment of maybe I did something wrong.
Elery, in her self-consciousness, would read it as not embarrassment. She would read it as Sienna is acting this way because she's like quasi uncomfortable, like this really scarred, worn like hand. Basically to this point, how Elery understands everything is that, you know, she's kept most of her body hidden under this cloak by this time, right? So, so you would have noticed long before this point, she has no scars on her head or her neck.
Mm-hmm.
Her head and her neck are clean.
Mm-hmm.
But any part that you have seen of her outside of that has been scarred or like sunbeaten or, you know, some heavy evidence of her trade as a hunter and like, you know, what she does for the people of this village. So so that might be Sienna's intent, but Elery is so self-conscious that she will absolutely misread it as some form of discomfort over how, like, having an up close and personal moment with like her hand and seeing how it looks. She would absolutely misread it.
That's so heartbreaking, but so goddamn real. Like, just player above table. Oh my god, I feel that in my soul.
You know?
Of there's like those insecurities.
Intelligence 10, man.
Yep. The worst part is intelligence is not my dump stat by a long shot. I have a +3 at level 5. Like,
oh man.
But I'm just, but my wisdom is not as good. Oh man, that's heartbreaking.
That's funny because my wisdom's a 13. Like I only have a +1 modifier to anything on a wisdom score, so it wouldn't matter. She would still misread it.
That's phenomenal. Oh man. Okay, heartbreaking, but now we got to get back under the table and play it.
Sorry. Yep. There's a whole ass conversation going on in Roll20.
I respect it fully. So Sienna would just sort of like, she would start fidgeting, and you really don't see her do that very often. She would start fidgeting, and just gesture and to the ring. Any luck?
Remind me again, what did you do to it?
I greased it. Hopefully it pops right off.
Good night, everybody. Okay, so she'll pull her hand back, and like definitely under the cloak again this time. She'll go and reach and pull for it. And just for fun rings, I'm gonna throw this dice out the door.
What did you roll?
I just kind of gave a half-assed strength check. I really probably don't need to, but oh yeah, no, with a 15, yeah. Yeah, is able to slip it off.
Mm-hmm.
But when she hands it back over to you, it's like she's not sure how to do it without like her hand just like being out there. So if there's like a nearby surface or something that she would be able to put it on, she'd drop it on that and pull her hand back.
It would, God, it breaks Mel's heart, but if you could put it on top of the little crate that's right there.
Yep, she will absolutely go over and just drop it on the crate.
And Sienna would absolutely see that. And you think even more that she's done something wrong. Because as insecure as Elery is about the physicality and the scarring, Sienna's insecure about her social skills. 100%. So yeah, that's definitely I fucked up. Oh God. But she's gonna try to stay professional. So hold on one second. I'm texting my husband. Can you get your cat, please? Because he's scratching at the door. And I don't want to get up because this is important.
There's gay shit going on in here.
There's really gay shit going on in here, and he needed to do that.
I can sense
it. So she'll just like do that like stutter reach, still trying to like look at Elery, trying to figure it out. But she's got darker skin, so blush doesn't show up on her quite as strongly as it would on lighter skin, but you can see there's a slight change in her face. And she looks at the ring and she'll pick it up and examine it. She'll say, this is a ring of jumping, right?
Yes.
I could if you'll allow it, I could very quickly make this just a little bit looser so that it fits more comfortably. And she'll just sort of like, oh, I fucked up. I'm really close to this person. I'm taking a bit of space for a second. She'll step toward the forge with her tongue.
Misreads it all.
Yup! It just keeps getting worse. I like the storyteller in me is so happy, but I'm so sad for these two.
I know.
Sienna,
yes.
I need you to roll an Arcana check first. Because this is an enchanted item.
I was gonna say, above the table to the DM, because I'm an artificer and my expertise is in the magic infusion of physical items, what I'm hoping to do is heat the ring just enough that it becomes slightly malleable, and then stretch it within like a C-clamp kind of vice situation, just a little bit, and then quench it.
There's still an element of the arcane properties of it that even an artificer cannot preserve. When it comes under certain duress.
Okay.
So this is why I'm saying roll your arcane check to see if this is possibly enough an enchantment that it can withstand it.
Okay. Oh my God, this dice. That's another 5. That's a third 5 in an hour.
Dude, swap it up.
It's getting swapped. But it's a 5 plus 6, so it's an 11 Arcana.
Okay.
Thankfully, this is at least what I'm good at.
As you're getting ready to stick it in the forge, you suddenly become leery. while you're confident enough that you could possibly keep the enchantment intact, there's just that small seed of doubt that the enchantment might break.
I need to check something in D&D Beyond real quick. Give me 1 second. Do we want to pause this and switch over to Serephina?
Meanwhile, in the other room.
Yes.
Yeah,
we can
truly
do
just long enough
that.
for me to research infusion for a second.
We can do that for a
Thank
quick
you.
moment.
E-
Serephina, during all of this, Kavoria has dragged you out of the room, and she had whispered, "Let's give them a moment to have alone."
Understandable.
And she dragged you down into the main, like the selling hall, where you, Kavoria, and Laurna had been chatting. And while you were chatting, you got to meet Maka's younger brother.
Oh no.
Ryko.
I was wondering if you were going to have him show up. Oh no.
You got to meet Ryko. And you heard Laurna tell Ryko, hey, there's some stuff from the storehouse we need you to get. Of course, you don't have to get it. Ryko, of course, is like, well, it's my day off. I do what I want. And she gives him a small list of a armor stand, the 2 lodestones, and one other piece. And Ryko's like, all right, and he leaves.
He mad.
And
I don't blame him.
so afterwards, Laurna hops back up on the counter and is just sitting there and chatting with you. She does inform you, like, hey, let me check the condition of the lodestones. I will get back to you if they are up to our quality. If not, she would reach out, get some other lodestones, and then tell you a price.
Right.
And Kavoria speaks up and is like, so, I guess Maka has fully recovered? Laurna's like, yeah. Once again, I cannot thank your brother enough for coming out and helping during that time. Kavoria's like, yeah, it was a really good trip out here, I'm not gonna lie. It was really nice. Laurna's like, yeah, we've seen a big change in Ryko since then. Elery was a good influence on him. And you watch as Kavoria, she walks over to this this stand that has swords lined upon them. And she picks one up, and she's holding it. Ryko's work really has improved. I'm impressed. And Laurna is like, yeah, he's taken everything that Elbron has taught him to heart. I can see that. Serephina, do you want to hold it?
Sure. She holds her hands up.
And she lays the blade gently into your hand. And what you thought you saw was a heavy sword is pretty light in your hands.
Mm-hmm. This is very light.
It's another alloy secret. Yeah, my brother uses similar tactics.
Impressive.
I believe this one is some titanium and mithril. Yes,
Hmm.
my brother uses titanium mithril all the time together. It's amazing how the alloy comes together.
Right.
You look like you have a question. Laurna asks you, Serephina.
Hmm.
You look like you have a question, like something's on your mind.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just so fascinated about how light this is, and hmm,
It's amazing what alloys can do.
indeed.
Just the right combination of the different metals gives you each alloy a different property. It may be the same two metals, but done in different combinations. Gives metals different properties.
I'm impressed.
She notices the dagger on your waist, Serephina.
Yeah.
Is that one of Elrond's?
Oh, yes.
Kavoria will take the blade back and put it back on the rack.
Okay. Indeed, it is.
I could tell. Elrond has a very specific signature with his work. Indeed he does. I'm proud to call him a brother. I'm proud to
Understandable.
even be in his presence, believe me. Did you say something, darling?
No. Don't mind me.
Serephina, is there something you want to do?
Um, well, after I get the notestones, I think I'm gonna go and work for a bit. See if anyone needs any help, or I could go help around at the cathedral.
I'm pretty sure the cathedral would enjoy another cleric's company. Yes, I'm sure they can use your help. A lot of people have been coming in lately, uh, thanks to the Dänemark's attacks. Of course, they would go to the Ravens' Respite and deal with their losses, but they would always turn to the other cathedral to find answers. They could possibly use a cleric there to help. It's been packed.
Well, I can definitely go help.
Serafina, why don't I escort you there? And maybe by the end of the day, we can come pick you up?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Laurna jumps down. So the lodestones are going to be a while. They probably won't get here till noon, so don't you wait around for them. Why don't you two go ahead? I'll let your friends know.
Thank you.
And Kavoria will lead you. I'm going to grab you as well. Out. And
Wait.
take you to the cathedral. And I'm going to put a pause on this and say, Kat, I hope you feel better. Go get some
Thank
rest.
you.
And
Get some rest, cat.
we will
Oh,
catch
hon.
you. We'll catch you a little later, all right?
Thank you for
Okie
being here.
dokie.
Oh,
Feel better, cat.
feel better, cat.
Thank you.
Mwah.
Bye-bye, friends.
Bye.
Um,
Poor thing.
I know.
Golly, what a trooper.
She
Yeah,
is.
no kidding.
She was the one who wanted to who go for it tonight. So I definitely give her props for wanting to do it, you know.
Mm.
But let us continue. We have the graces for both to continue.
Yeah. So just to let you know, Shailene, above the table, players are good. We conferred. Sienna's going to try it anyway.
Okay.
And she's going to cast Unseen Servant to help her with this
Okay.
by keeping an extra, like the Unseen Servant can sit in the forge with the ring to protect it,
Right.
and try to help maintain that enchantment while she works. But I understand that there's still risk. I'm not asking that it be done without risk, but
Right.
I want to make sure you knew.
Okay. I'm going to have you do a flat d20 roll.
I have a brand new die in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Completely different die.
Warm it up.
Okay, chat. I need everybody to send good vibes this way, please. Please.
Actually, I'm going to have you do a percentile, instead.
Oh fuck.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
I
no
got
apology
your
needed.
dice all worked up.
It's
Oh, that's way
okay.
more. That's so much more fun, though.
It's so much more fun. Okay, hold on. Remind me how this works. I've actually rolled percentile dice maybe twice in my life. I don't remember.
So
I know what they look like, but tell me what I do with them.
So you roll both the
D10 and the D100.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the D100 is the first number, and your D10 is the second number. If you get a double zero, it is considered a single, unless you get a trip zero, and then it becomes a 100.
I see. Okay. I'm so nervous. Unlacing my fucking dice bag got
Hey,
difficult.
We talked about it, man. You're good. You're good.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's just
Let the dice tell a story.
Let the dice
let
tell
the
a
dice
story.
do what they're gonna do. Here we go. Okay. Whew. Chat, pray for me. All right. Here we go. Okay. All right. Shailene, you didn't. So the die has been cast. I will take a photo of it, and then I want you to tell me not just what happens, but what your criteria were.
All right.
If you're okay to do that.
Let's see.
So the die has been cast.
Okay.
Okay.
So what do we think?
Unfortunately,
No!
as you're sitting there and you're watching it, the unseen servant is watching it, and all of a sudden you see the ring break.
Oh no. Oh, fuck me.
Elery is watching you. Or at least a moment to kind of compose herself, but she has turned and watched you since you've gone to the forge.
Yeah, and what you would see, so Sienna would have pulled her goggles down over her eyes. By the way, chat, I rolled a 37. She pulled her goggles down over her eyes. She has the ring in her tongs, and she's got them extended toward the forge, and she's trying to just barely warm the ring. But if you're okay with me flavoring it this way, DM, I think what happens is the forge is still too hot. This is a ring probably made of iron or steel or something like that, and it's heat. It was heated for platinum. It's cooled down a little bit, but it was heated to 4 times the amount of heat that would be needed to actually soften something like this. So it just fucking liquefies almost, and way too fast for Sienna to be able to do anything about it. And it just, because it goes straight into the coals, she can't even recover the material. And she's just standing there horrified. And she doesn't move for a hot second. She knows what happened. And she has no idea how she's going to tell you. Um,
Oh, I'm gonna do this to you. She will take one step towards you. Is everything all right?
I'm sorry. She's not moving. She's still just staring at the fire, but she does speak to you. I'm so sorry. I messed it up. Elery, and she'll turn to you.
You missed.
It's just tears. Elery, I'm so sorry. The fudge was too hot and the ring, it's gone. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I will replace it. I will make sure you get one as soon as possible. I'm so sorry. I did not think that would happen. I miscalculated. I should have been more careful.
For an uncomfortably long moment, Elery looks around the room, looks at the forge, looks at you.
She's having a hard time keeping like making eye contact with you, but she tries. But you see her like looking at the floor a lot.
And she is going to step over to you, and all 5'10" of her is gonna squat down to all 4'8" of you, and she will reach out with that same hand and that greased finger. She's gonna put a hand on your shoulder.
She is quietly ugly crying, if that makes sense. I'm so sorry.
You said this is what you do, but this is still new to you. Yes?
Yeah. These parties, yeah, the ring part. I should have been more considerate of that. I didn't mean to break your stuff.
She like very gently gives your shoulder a little shake to kind of get your attention.
And she looks back at you.
When I was young and first learning how to hunt, one of the first things that they teach you is how to make a net, a proper net. Sometimes we make the long journey to fish. Not often. Sometimes. And to learn how to make a good net, I went with the group, the party that traveled out to fish. It was long. I was very tired. But in that, I learned how to make my net. And each one of us had to lay the net out into the water and see what we could catch with a bit of bait and other things. And everyone pulled their net in. They all had some type of fish. What's very promising. And then I pulled in mine. I was so tired from the trip there. I was so excited to see what I could do. I had wrongly mended a corner of my net, and all of my fish escaped.
Oh no.
and it was very embarrassing.
Eyes to the floor.
But now, I know to take my time with the net. Because when I do fish, and it is not often, but when I do fish, I can have a catch. A ring is a ring. It is useful, yes, but not the main tool to do what I do. You are learning, and sometimes there must be the very embarrassing lesson in order to learn and to move on. Besides, and then she pulls her hand back a little bit, and the greased up finger, I mean, it has like a firm tan line, and it's, you know, kind of like red and calloused. And she holds that finger up to you. I must admit, it's maybe I do not have a ring to put back on this finger that has a component to it like you wished, but it feels better. So it is not a total loss.
She would, like, very shyly put her hand up to ask for your hand again. She doesn't say anything, but she just kind of looks at you with big puppy dog eyes. Just tears, snot. Like, there is nothing attractive about this woman right now.
Roll for defense against puppy dog eyes.
Exactly.
And she will watch your face very carefully. But she will reach out her hand and kind of hold it out for you to take.
And she just said, she'll, again, same gentleness, same care, perhaps even more so because now her confidence is shaken. But you can feel the trembling in her hands. But she takes your hand with her right hand first, and then also sort of cradles it with her left, and then with both thumbs sort of gently wipes the grease away, just trying to like clean that up and just sort of, if nothing else, like get some of the redness of that mark away, and just say, and she's holding your hand, and she'll just hold it firmly and look you dead in the eyes and say, I promise I will fix it. But in the meantime, I'm glad that your finger does not hurt anymore. And she doesn't let you go right away. She does give you like a couple of extra, just like, there's no reason for these touches other than affection. Her thumbs to your fingers, and then she'll sort of realize what she's doing and let your hand go, and sort of fold her hands and fidget and look back down.
Elery will pull her hand back, both hands under her cloak, and gives you a little smile. This is where you have become strong. She hand quickly reaches out, taps her forehead, goes back under the cloak. Strong. You will figure it out. Jewelry is jewelry. It was not. It would be a lot worse if you had done something to my axe, or javelin, or any other item that I have. I am still very good at what I do without a ring.
Yes, but it was the one piece of... It was the one item that you were wearing that was not about your usefulness. And I think it's very important that you know that that has value too. You do not have to be useful to be valued. And I fear that I do not wish for you to forget that. And I hope... I am so sorry if that was precious to you, but I will replace it because you deserve things that have nothing to do with what you are good at. Wipes the snot with her fucking forearm.
Elery, at first kind of like comfortably squatting in front of you and whatnot, has kind of shifted her stance a little bit and has kind of leaned back just a bit. Maybe a little wary. And my usefulness. And her eyes kind of shift down to the floor too. It does not that is not what you need to worry about. And as her eyes are kind of pacing around the floor, it's like she kind of looks up and around the forge, and then where's the others?
Oh, I think Elery, forgive me, I may have misspoken or miscommunicated. I do not doubt your usefulness. Not for a single second. I more mean it is not the only part of you that I see.
Body language, she's just kind of receding, shoulders kind of in a little bit, arms in a little bit, not paying attention to you anymore.
Yep. Yeah. And now where we thought something had gone wrong, something has actually gone wrong. And Sienna's just like, yes, the others, we can go find them. I believe they are out this way. She just kind of resigns herself to the fact that she's not going to be able to fix this right now.
Elery will follow. Elery follows at a noticeable distance from what she usually does when she's behind the party.
Mm-hmm. Sienna will get to the door and hold it open for you.
And I did this to you. And she will pass by and not make eye contact with you.
Oh, you guys are done. And
Yes.
Kavorius senses the tension. Laurna, can you give us a moment? Lorna's like, yeah. Let me go check on Maka. And she walks off into this room. Is everything alright?
Who is she asking?
Both of you.
Group, yeah.
Yeah. Elery, a new ring.
You do not owe me a ring. It was it is fine.
Sienna's just staring at the floor.
Elery's not even looking in Sienna's direction. She is head up facing Kavoria, eyes at the floor.
Yep. I'm going to tend to the alloy. I'll be here probably most of the day. But I was hoping to make an appointment to visit Councilperson Choji and Councilwoman. She's kind of trying to think. Councilwoman Yagami.
Pulls a book out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. It's the tiny journalist
Back in her back
notepad.
pocket. Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you happen to, would you mind please just requesting an audience
Of course.
if you're in that neighborhood?
Yeah, we were gonna head to the Aizawa Manor and see if Councilwoman Yamada was there.
Sounds good. I look forward to. And she'll sort of glance in Elery's direction, not expecting to make any eye contact, just like you do. And then back to Kavoria, and she just says, I'll focus on what I'm good at today. And she goes back in the door.
Elery, will you wait outside for me?
Elery says nothing. She nods and wait outside the building.
Outside the building, yeah.
Yeah, and she will go outside the building and she will just stand at the side of the door right here.
Kavoria walks in. Sienna.
She was in the corner. Yeah, Kavoria. I was just getting some, and she'll root around in this crate, trying to make it look like she was rooting for something. I'm literally gonna roll the deception check just for funsies.
Roll it with the die that you were using earlier.
I should have, because this one gave me a fucking 11. Let me go see what that actually translates to. God, I love this game. That's a +1, so that's a 12 deception.
Okay, I am seeing what her insight is. What was yours?
12. What'd she roll?
9 plus 8.
Let's fucking go. Yes, we love the dice telling a story.
Kavoria walks over. You know I'm trained in this, right?
Yeah, well, sometimes being trained in shit doesn't mean anything.
She brings you into the biggest hug.
I fucked it up, Kavoria. I didn't mean to break the ring, but I broke the ring. I was trying to help, and then I think I said something wrong. I'm sorry.
She just holds Sienna and lets her cry.
And she'd probably be there for a solid, at least a solid couple of minutes before she tries to get her shit together.
Once Sienna finishes crying, you want to know a story?
Sure.
It's a story my brother tells quite often to new smiths. It was his first piece that he was working on by himself. Everything was going perfect. But what he didn't notice was the alloy that he had made started delaminating.
It's always tough when that happens.
He sold it. He had no idea.
He sold it?
He did. He did not see that the alloy was delaminating. It wasn't visible. There were tiny hairline cracks.
What happened? How did he find out?
The person he sold it to brought it back in pieces.
Oh no.
Yelled at him for a solid 2 minutes, according to a quarry.
Was they okay? Was they alright?
They were fine. They were just angry.
That's fair.
But here is the thing. He learned. He started thoroughly inspecting all of his pieces, before and after. A week later, the same person came in, and he sold him another hammer.
They were okay? Did they maintain some he became his customer again?
He's often a repeat customer. Some of the things that happen could be tiny hairline fractures that, unless you take the time to look, you won't see them. Don't blame yourself. There could have been such a small hairline fracture, it would have taken you hours before you finally saw it. It happens.
It's... I know. I mean, I trained. I'm a goddamn Alexander engineer, for fuck's sake. I should be...
Sienna.
Things breaking are normal. What's not okay is taking lightly the value that things have for people. And Elery reassured me that it wasn't the most valuable thing for her, because it didn't directly impact her ability to hunt, and I understand that, but... And maybe I shouldn't have said anything, but it was a ring. It was something that... It was the one thing that didn't impact our ability to hunt. And I feel... I don't know how many things she has that are not about ability to hunt. And I think she thought I was doubting it, and I don't know, but... There's a piece coming in that's very old, tied to the Savorian Twin. I can replace a ring of jumping. I can figure that out. That's I can find that. I can sell my left arm for that, just to fix it, but I cannot replace this other thing coming in. And sometimes you break things that you can replace, and people are like that. You break relationships and you can never fix it. And she looks back down. I know how to fix mental, Cavaria. I don't know how to fix relationships.
This piece, I know which one you're talking about. Find a way to see if maybe there's a way that you can preserve it. And if something were to happen, find a backup plan. You said it
Just look at-
yourself. You're an Alexander engineer.
Fuck all good that did me today.
That's a ring. Rings can be replaced.
She just sighs and nods at you. And nods at Kavoria and... Thank you, Kavoria.
She looks you. She pulls your head so you're looking her in the eyes.
And she doesn't resist at all.
There's a spark in you. One that everyone can see. Don't let this mistake hide it. Because it's not a mistake, it probably could have happened at any temperature.
I shouldn't have tried, but she's not trying to dismiss what was just said. She's just like, I will try. I will try. Thank you.
I have faith that you can save this piece. And I have faith that you will find it in your heart to accept that Elery is not mad. Yes, she may be upset right now, but Elery is smarter than we all give her credit for sometimes.
I'm just getting to know her, but the fact that she is extremely perceptive
She is.
is not lost on me.
She's very perceptive. And I'm sure that she went into this knowing that there was a risk.
Maybe.
I have a good feeling she did.
I don't think I honestly considered it enough to even say it. That might be a problem. I just said I can try to help, but try was the only indication that something might go wrong because I was that fucking proud. I appreciate it though, and time, I guess. Time always helps. I will try to salvage the metal from the forge. That is a good idea.
I'm sure the whatever magics you have could help get it up.
She just has a full light bulb moment of, I have mending. I'm a fucking idiot. I have mending.
Why don't you try that?
She bolts over to the forge. And immediately.
Kavoria takes a step away so you can bolt.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I'll try to see you at the inn.
See you at the end.
All right. And she might as well be like the little like two leg, like she's not in the forge because obviously that's dangerous. But she's as close to it as she can reasonably be. Yeah. And she's just trying to get every little bit of metal that she can out. And that's where we'll probably leave her.
Yeah. I will say with the help of, it was your unseen servant, correct?
Yes.
With the help of your unseen servant, you get all the metal pieces out. Though you cannot replace the enchantment on it, at least the ring is able to be repaired. But you do know a couple people who could probably re-enchant it.
I was just thinking about Toshi Yagi.
Mm-hmm.
I think, is Toshi the right? Yeah. Toshi was the one who was going to help me with enchanting the 4 rings of spellbinding. So what Sienna's plan is, as she sees these pieces, she's going to ask a fucking professional for help with reforging the ring. So she would take it to Laurna, and she'll kind of get her shit together for a moment, and then she would go in and Laurna.
Before we get to that,
Yeah.
Kavoria walks out to you, Elery.
Over the table, I'm giving you a big hug right now.
I know, back at you.
If we were sitting at a table, I totally would like game is over and I pulled out of a chair.
It's time for cheesecake and sorbet, bitches. Let's go. Oh, that was good.
That was good.
I cannot. Oof. Yeah, go on.
But Elery, you see Kavoria walk out. I think everything will be okay now.
What do you mean?
Have more confidence in Sienna. Though this was a make. You have.
I have confidence in Sienna, of course. Everybody makes mistakes. It is just a ring. It is not.
That makes me happy to hear.
She still has not made eye contact with Kavoria. She's still staring ahead.
Elery, look at me.
Eyes shift.
I know you probably told her, but she needs to hear it again. I think she'll hear it this time.
It isn't the ring that bothers me.
I know. What is it then?
It's whatever that noise was in the tavern.
Oh, goodness. That's amazing we heard it from all the way over here.
She will pause a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then she will remove her hands from underneath the cloak. And sorry, kind of do this above table real quick. Would it be safe to assume that there is some, maybe like Kavoria does not know everything, but Kavoria knows a little something? I mean, she knows it's, you know, the thing with books and whatever, but like if she pulls out her hands and kind of moves them, you know, backs and her palms and stuff, showing off like her scars, the skin like visible in the daylight and stuff.
I don't think she
would that be like silently enough of an impact that Kavoria would kind of get it, or would there still need to be like context put into that?
She would need some context because,
okay,
of course, they only spent maybe 2 nights at max before.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I thought.
Before she came back to Keelane, before you guys met up again, like years later.
Okay.
So
okay. I couldn't remember how much time they had spent together previously before all this. Okay. Then she'll hold out her hands and, you know, rotate them. She'll look over at Kavoria, actually full turn her head over to her.
Mm-hmm.
I told you. I am not good with books, with pretending to be something that I am not. There are many back home who would love for me to be something that I am not. That's why I have this. And she tucks her hand under her cloak. And why I have this. And she reaches inside a kind of like knapsack she carries, and she pulls out the helmet that she put on when they fought the Dynamarchs. There is something I have been told. A part of me that should be better, and a part of me that needs to stay hidden, to be taken. I do not... And here I am, out in the world, somewhere different. And I cannot put that away. I am a hunter at heart. In body and in mind. And yet the most important thing that some saw for me to do was to protect my face, because it was good to look at. And the rest of me was not. And I would have books, and I would have teachers and people try to tell me things that I do not understand. And I have known this party, I've known you for such a small amount of time. I should feel free. I should feel like these things do not matter. But they do. Because I am told I should be better. You didn't see the way that she looked at me, Kavaria.
What did you see, Elery? What was her look?
Not anything good. The working together ring off of my finger. Yes, the ring is gone. And she pulls that hand back out and holds out that index finger, that raw line, you know, kind of calloused area that's still there. It's gone, and I am fine. It is a ring. It is not anything. It is a mistake of a new student. And yes, she held my hand, and she saw what I hide. And perhaps it is...
Do you...
She trails off. She just stares at her hand for a bit.
Do you wish to continue to hide it? Or would you want it to be seen?
Don't know that I've thought of it. There's so much that I have. So much I do not know. So much that I am unaware of. A whole world with culture, with manners, with components, with iron, with people, with towns and villages and cities. And I know nothing. And I have been told without proof that I know nothing, and I sit here in this town, and I look around, and I try to make note of things. I have never felt like those words were true before. And I felt them so real last night. I had to write things down. You said this was good things that we are doing, that we are going towards, and I feel like thinking is all that I have done lately, and yet I do not feel like I have had the time to think. I'm not mad. I'm embarrassed.
What embarrassed you, Elery?
What I am is not who I am.
Then I guess we need to find who you are then, don't we?
That hand finally goes over to her head. She kind of presses it against her temple, and
I know, it's a lot.
so much.
I know. Go ahead.
No, but I need to think. Please say anything.
I know that you know more than a lot of people think that you know. It's just locked away. Because you've been told your entire life that you know nothing. The Elery I've been seeing these past couple of days have been taking in so much. And yes, it's a lot, especially when you're not used to it. But I know here, and she'll hold her hand over your heart, not like touching you, but just holding her hand. Your heart shines so much brighter. And the wonder and awe that I see in you, it tells me you are ready to learn. You just have to find it in yourself.
She takes a moment, takes that in. Looks at Kavoria. That's an awful lot to learn.
There is. You just have to you just have to tell yourself you're ready.
Her eyes kind of dart around, looking at the cobblestone in front of her, and like thinking 100 things at once and trying to like piece things together and whatnot, and then looks at you again. What did you say that she needed to hear again? That it was alright, it's just a ring?
Mm-hmm. That you're not mad?
Right. And she's gonna turn around and she's gonna storm past you.
Kaboria will step out of your way.
Just like right back in here. Where are you, Sienna?
Probably finishing up a conversation with Laurna where you see her hand, you'll see in Laurna's hand, not in Sienna's because she would have just handed it over. What will look, I think, like just like almost like shattered glass, but it's metallic in color. And Sienna would sort of like jump to see you. Oh, Elery. Hi.
She like purposeful strides. She walks right in, she spots you, and immediately, like Lorna's not even there. She goes
Laurna takes steps away. She's like, I'm going to give them some space.
Elery goes straight over to you. And squats in front of you again. But this time she reaches out with both hands. And you said you don't have anything in yours? Your
No,
hands
yeah,
are
my hands
empty,
are
you've
free.
given it- okay. And she is going to take one of your hands in both of hers. I mean,
She does not fight this at all.
Doesn't need to because comparatively her hands are probably enormous, but like easily closes, you know, like when Aragorn gives Frodo back the ring in Fellowship and he puts his hand over the top and it like covers. Like it's probably something like that.
100%.
And she shifts your index finger out from this grip and holds it between her thumb and her index finger and looks right at you. I am not mad. And you will learn. And you will be better.
Sienna just like that sort of the freeze of, oh God, what's happening? Oh, something really good is happening. Oh, okay, information that I'm sad at myself, so I don't want to hear it, but now I need to hear it. Like that thought process is happening on her face very, very quickly, and she reaches a point where she just does look at you and sort of a sheepish smile, but still a smile. And thank you. Thank you. And she would, you know, the way that she ran at her half brother, like similar energy of really wanting to give you a hug, and like she just kind of like opens her arms and just wraps her arms around your shoulders because you've knelt down. I will be better. I promise.
And she will get her arms around like your upper body. Like it's a very friendly hug. And you will. These learning takes time. And mistakes will happen. But you learn from those mistakes. And I am not mad.
She just get like from the hug, right, gives you another squeeze. Like that little, enough of a squeeze that like it's a slight tremble. All good things. Before she just starts nodding and takes a deep breath and looks at you.
And she'll pull back and with both of her hands on your shoulders, she'll give you a little smile twinkle in the eye and say, "You're very small."
Yes, I am. And you are very wonderful. And she just gives you that like slight head tilt and smile. It's not flirty. It's certainly not intended to be, but there is like a warmth there that's more than just friendly.
She'll lean back. She'll get up off of it. She'll get up from the squat and look down at you and. Do you are fine here for the rest of the day?
I think so. May I ask a strange question before you go?
Her eyebrows just pop up.
I'll ask it and then you do not have to answer, but do you have a favorite plant?
Plant?
Mhm.
Plant. I do. Yes. And not just because there are plants that you can eat when you hunt that help with is feeding away hunger for a while. Yes, I do.
Which plant is your favorite? Because it's pretty.
Well, in the she might be starting to blush a little bit, and she doesn't know why. Well, there is a there are some flowers that grow in a very certain parts of the forests. I did not go there very often. We went to different areas when we needed to hunt, but this was always my favorite. These stay closed during the night, during the day, and open at moonlight. And they are very soft. And she, like, her hands briefly come out from underneath, and she gives this, like kind of pantomime of adding light pressure to something, and it falls apart.
Oh, delicate. Fragile.
Yes. So we do not touch them. Yeah, but on nights when it is been long, and you want to think about anything else except for how hungry you might be. When the moon comes over the tops of the trees, and those flowers open, it felt, I guess, magical. Magical. I do not know what they are called. There are many things that we have to pay attention to. It's, if you had a picture, a drawing, I could show you. I do not know what it's called, though.
I have a couple of ideas. I will show you at dinner. Make sure I've got the right one.
Sure.
She just gives you a nod. Thank you
She
for everything.
she gives you a nod and stands there for a second. And then turns around and beelines for the door.
Hey.
Kavoria is standing there and she's just smiling.
and she makes eye contact with Kavoria and gives like this, what? And just like, it's going out the door.
And Kavoria follows. If Elery, if you can check our Discord real quick.
I'm good. Sorry. I have a very loud keyboard and I didn't want to try and like stealth whatever, but I'm okay.
Okay. So, we are going to go a little bit over time just because I want to get to a certain point before we end the session. Kavoria is going to lead you to the Aizawa Manor. And as you guys approach the Aizawa Manor, you both see Hideko and Psycho walking out. The blonde-haired elf whose four-legged friend you followed here just yesterday. And Hideko recognizes you all, you both, and it's like, oh, hello. I was not expecting to see you both here. And Kavoria's like, yes, we wanted to get some information about a couple of your quests that you had on the board. Oh, yes, of course. Which ones?
Elery immediately goes into a crouch and gets Psycho's attention. She's focused on the pet.
Psycho immediately walks over for belly rubs and everything.
Hell yeah!
Teko just smiles.
Under the chin scritches, little belly rubs, and quiet murmurings.
Yes, the Dynamox and the direwolves. Yes, of course. The Dynamox have been plaguing the outside for a couple of years now. There's 3 of them. There could be more, we're not entirely sure. We've just been able to spot 3 entirely. I am personally offering extra gold if you bring back some things of the Dynamox. And it's per item. That would be wonderful. And you see Kavoria. Elery, you've noticed Ignacio always pulling out a journal and writing.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time you've ever seen Kavoria do it. This is the first time you've ever seen Kavoria pull out her own journal. And she starts writing down. I do have the list for the Dynamarks, but I do not have it with me.
Okay.
So I will put the list of the Dynamarks stuff in the chat later. But I do remember it's all 3 horns. Hideka's like, I want all the horns of the Dynamarks, and the poison sacks from within. Do be cautious though. They are very, very dangerous. If a little bit gets on your skin, it can cause some issues. Thankfully, it's not as bad as if it were to actually inject the poison into your system. And then she goes on and she says the other things for the Dynamarks. As for the direwolves, really the biggest thing is we want them driven away. Though we do understand that if force needs to be taken to drive them away, then for sure let it be done. I know there's 6 direwolves in that pack. There may be a couple more. It's been they've been plaguing those farmers for about a year now. Any pelts that you do get from those that you've had to slay would definitely be thoroughly compensated for, as well as teeth.
Elery is listening in to Hideko give this information, and she's nodding along with everything, not in a like yeah condescending kind of way, but in like a all right, poison packs, check. The horns, okay, got it. The pelts, okay, do the pelts. This, it's there. There's a very clear like she's storing this away, hearing everything.
Yeah. That also being said, there is one other caveat to the direwolves, though. What is that, Hideko? With it becoming harvest time, we really need the direwolves taken care of right away. I'm talking about within the next couple of days, if possible. And if you are willing to get it done within the next couple of days, I may be able to increase the reward. Okay, I remember it's saying 60, but what would the increase be? If you get it done within 24 hours, it will triple the gold given. If you get it done within 48, I'll double. Koforia jots that down.
She says triple, and while giving belly rubs, Elery kind of pauses for a second and then like counts on her fingers. Like, the fingers tapping to thumb tip. Like,
Koforia looks over. She'll give 63 times. And then for 24.
Belly rub.
Like she like quickly understands. Koforia explains it. Is there anything else that needs to be done within a time limit? I would say the Dynamarks, but I know they're tougher. If you can get all 3 done within the same day, that would be wonderful, but I can't put that on you guys.
If I may, Elery will actually stand and step over.
Of course.
You... maybe this is not what we would like to have done, looking at Koforia, but then she looks at Hideko. You said that there are other hunters around around here, yes?
Yes, we have our own Hunter's Guild.
Oh, well, dire wolves. I have spent much of my life hunting, and have any sort of group of hunters. It makes it very easy. if they know what they are doing, if it would be easier, or if it's, and she nervously looks over at Kavoria again, if it's not quite what we want to do, but with a group, a day's time should not be too much of an issue if you, she kind of fidgets a little bit. If you have multiple traps, different places set for the wolves in particular, there are different ways that you might be able to hunt them, but to get them into an area and to bring a trap tends to be the easiest. But it would take more than myself and Kavoria or even our party. It would be a group hunt.
Of course. I will speak with Cece, who's the head of a hunters guild. Her and the Kyoga boy, not Kyoga. Maybe it is. I'm tired. I just finished helping my brothers with their new twins. I did the night watch for them. I will get in touch with them and let them know that we do have a couple of adventurers that are interested in helping with the direwolves, and we'll get you word if there are some hunters that can be spared, because they are gearing up to get ready to go out and actually hunt for the winter. So
however I can help. She glances over at Kavoria again, almost like asking permission to be able to say all of this.
She nods.
Whatever I can do to help, I would be more than happy. This is a problem that I am that I know. And if it could help, then all the better.
Of course. What is your name so I can let Cece know?
And she gives that kind of formal head nod again. Elery.
Elery. That's a pretty name.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to laugh, but that was great.
Eyes shift.
Kavoria speaks up. Yes, that would be wonderful. We are staying at Savoyan too, so you could always send word there. Of course. Psycho, do you mind go telling Cece about Elery for me? I will be right behind. Psycho nods and runs off in this general direction. Now, as for the Dynavox, I do need to warn you something. Just last night, after we already just reposted it, a caravan was on their way to Durlan. It was a merchant caravan. Over half of the caravan was taken out by two of them. The Dynavox situation is getting worse. I am willing to increase the price even further if it gets done within the week. Kavoria just nods. How many were in the caravan? There was 20 people altogether. Only 8 made it. They were all merchants.
Do not have weapons. All merchants, they do not have training, they do not have a warning.
No.
The 8 are very lucky. As quickly as possible, then, you want. Both the Dynamax and the direwolves
Yes.
taken care of.
Yes.
Both of them. Not one over the other in preference.
Honestly, the direwolves are a little bit more important because of harvest season coming up.
Well, then it will be done.
Dynamax should be very close after that.
It will be done.
Thank you.
A chance to quickly tell what I know to others, to prepare, to quickly set.
Yes,
It is important for the town, the city. She kind of like vaguely gestures like out there for the seasons, for the change, and for what you need to be able to live here. It is too important. I agree to spend too much time not taking care of.
yes,
It'll be done.
I thank you. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Yes, thank you. As for meeting with CC, like I said, I sent Sego ahead so we can get this working. Now send word to Savoyan too for when you can meet. I'm sure she probably would like to meet before sunset, so... of course. Thank you, Hitego. Of course. Alright, well, I better run off. I guess I will not be having my nap. You see her, like, you can see she is tired. Like, taking care of a baby, like one baby at night, is tough
Yep.
enough. But now that she has to take care of 2, and she does it willingly, it definitely takes a toll. And she's like, all right, I will catch you all later. If I don't see you beforehand, just remember what I said, and yeah. She's yawning, like...
Will you be able to make it back to your room?
No, I'll make it home, don't worry. I'm tired, but I grew up with Sashi. Don't worry when I say I will resist sleep as long as I can. And she heads off. Well, this doesn't bode well at all.
She is right. The quicker the problem is taken care of, the better it will be for this town.
Yes.
There is only so much time that can be offered, not just for their crops, but also for their people. If merchants, unarmed and unwarned, are not able to get here, words can spread. That it's too dangerous to travel. It affects everything.
Yes.
It's thankfully very simple. She kind of nods or grins.
Yeah, it is, and I think we need to gather back up at the inn and definitely come up with a plan.
Yes. Yes, I agree. As soon as we can, probably.
Yes. Let us be off.
Lead the way. She'll follow.
As you both are walking, you make it back and you are just seeing Sienna with a young half-orc escorting her back to Savorian's Day 2. This is the half-orc. And as you and Kavoria approach, you see him rubbing the back of his neck with a little bit of a smile, small blush.
Insight check.
Go for it.
Come on, bitches. That is a... It's +1. 17.
What are you inciting?
What is he doing?
He's walking.
Intent. What was he? What was his? What is that?
You could tell he was walking Sienna back to the inn, and is just smiling. Is a little blushing a little bit because there may be a maybe or maybe not have a crush on Sienna. You don't know. That part is a little bit vague.
She's gonna do the same thing that she did earlier in the day with Serephina's morning date, and like is gonna like narrow her eyes.
I love this.
I love it so much. It's so fucking perfect.
But maybe there's a tiny bit more of an edge this time.
As he walks by, he gives like a little bit of a nod and continues back. Kavoria,
She just watches him go. Passes by her, her eyes narrowed. As he passes by her, she turns her head over her shoulder, watches him go.
Kavoria sees you, Sienna. And she sees the look on your face and just smiles. Oh, Sienna. This is definitely an improvement from earlier.
You could say that. And she's looking up. She'd just be standing outside, actually looking up over the door that's now empty. There's nothing there. But she's looking for if there's anything else that's any other metalwork around it, probably not as intricate, but she's just kind of staring at the building, which looks completely bare to most other people, in awe.
Yeah. You do see, what's your passive perception, by the way?
I want to say it's 15. Give me 1 second to double check that. Excuse me. Passive perception 15. Yep.
Okay. You do see wood carving. That kind of you do recall there was a border on the metal relief that the carving on the wood matches.
Ah.
You definitely can see that the relief was made for this inn.
Mm.
Kavoria comes up. What has gotten you speechless?
I think an ancestor of mine on my mother's side built this place. He is long past, from what I understand, but the relief that was over the door, it was made by someone from the Lufia clan, and the person who owns the inn before Savoyan. His last name was Nishiyama. It was a dwarf.
You see her, when you say Nishiyama, she starts thinking. Nishiyama.
Do you know?
I remember the dwarf that you're talking about.
You do?
He was quite old.
Hmm. From what I understand, if he made the relief is thousands of years old. At least 1,000. It goes back to the Great Battle.
That is very, very old.
Indeed.
Nishiyama. Like, you see her sitting there trying to remember the name. Oh, I can see his face as plain as day.
I wish I could.
He was a lovely, lovely gentleman.
What was he like?
He loved this inn. I'm glad Savoyan kept it the way it was.
From what I understand, she's done great work preserving it. The moment I see that gnome, I'm hugging her.
Well, given the time of day, she's probably at the other Savoyan stay, but...
I suppose that's true.
Oh, shoot. What was his name?
I'm sure I'll be able to find him. The young man that walked away, he wishes to learn metal carving, and you see a bit of hesitance, ever so slight. Just talking about metalwork. We were able to take a impression of the relief and safely and carefully store it for now. But
That's wonderful.
I hope to teach him Raiko, Maka's brother, actually. I hope to teach him how to restore these things, because he wishes to restore a lot of the history of the city.
Yeah. Raiko's a good kid.
Yeah. You definitely see just there's a little bit more than just nodding of that. He's a good kid.
You say his name, and Elery looks over her shoulder back where they came from, kind of narrows her eyes again.
She's definitely conflicted. There's I think Kavoria would probably know this a little bit, but there's an excitement that's tapered and overwhelming because there's so much there outside of any other feelings. But yeah.
I just got a natural 20 on that insight.
Let's fucking go!
Hell yeah, you did.
As mad as I am at our dice tonight because they didn't do what I wanted them to, they did so much better than I ever could.
God, they're telling a hell of a story tonight, aren't they?
Right?
But, Kavaria's like, yeah, I'll probably think of his name later. Let's go in and, I know I need to eat lunch. Elery, are you hungry?
I could eat, yes. And she looks at Sienna. You must be very hungry, yes, after the morning that you have had.
Yes. I've technically already had lunch, but you know what? I'm a dwarf. I can do it again.
Then let's go in and have some more food, shall we?
That sounds lovely. And I will tell you, Sienna is the hottest in not a hot way mess that you have ever seen right now. She smells. Her hair's everywhere, but she's sweaty, but she is like happy and excited and sad and concerned and all of these things, but she's very there's a lot going on. This little person.
What is Kavoria's passive perception?
Hang on, let me look. I have
Probably pretty good.
I have her sheet right here.
I know, I'm just
It
asking.
is an 18.
Oh!
Okay, so as following behind the party as she usually does, Elery will follow behind Sienna, and you will absolutely not miss Kavoria. That is, she is walking behind Sienna. She's looking at the matted hair and the little wisps of humid strands, and here's where the goggles were and everything, and how the hot mess. And there's just this little smile as she's walking behind her.
Oh yes, she is. As you all walk in, Kavoria will notice Ignacio over here in the corner.
Hey, he's awake.
Yes. I'm gonna go sit with him.
That sounds good.
Lunch is on me.
Thank you.
Elery
Shall
deflates just a little bit.
Shall we join you, or?
Why don't you both have lunch together?
All right.
And
Elery, would you like
sure.
to sit at the bar? Or at the table?
Whatever suits you. It's fine with me.
Fair enough. Let's do the bar. The stools tend to be a little higher there, and that helps me.
Yes. You you walk away, you go over there, and she mutters to herself, "You are very small."
As you do that, because she didn't catch it, but not quite, but she would have turned around and done a very presentational. You've both seen my face. I can do it. Sorry, chat. You're not going to get to see this, but Harper and Shailene will. And forgive the mess in the room. But sorry, I can't. I gotta show. 1 second. Turn on my camera.
We're just gonna slow mo Elery walk.
So it's very much this.
mm-hmm.
After all, I am small, and she actually says that very flirtatiously to Elery.
And what is that? Okay, it's that.
I'm sorry.
Okay. And Mel's just done for the night.
That was her exit.
Dropped the mic and fucking left.
I even said the wrong button.
But as you are doing that, she's not striding behind you or anything. She's just sort of following leisurely. So you turn around and you do the little hands up. I am very small, and she will immediately blush and like swallow thickly, and will walk over and take the place next to you at the bar.
As you guys had a seat at the bar, Catherine just ran into the back real quick, but then he comes back out. You're Sienna, aren't you?
I am, yes.
I have 2 letters for you.
You
And
do.
he hands you the 2 letters.
She'll look at them.
You
One
s-
is from.
You see in beautiful, beautiful scrawling script, Genevieve Dupont.
Oh, she wrote back.
And on the other one, you see in your mother's flourishing scrawl, as she always puts her name in a much prettier font than what she writes. Petra Nishiyama.
My mother is always very extra. I love it. And she'll show them to Elery and say, "This is from my mother." And she'll just smile and point at it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have lunch with you now, but I look forward to reading that later. And she'll set the letters aside and turn her full attention to Elery.
Does she always write like that? I'll, she takes a hand and makes like a big flourishy like motion with the.
I don't know how she. Sorry, it took me a minute to process.
Is it a yes? Or...
I think the heat of the fall just getting to me. I need to hydrate.
Yes, please. And she points over to Sienna, looking at Catsman. Plenty of water, please.
Of
Would you
course.
like some meals?
And he goes back and he brings out your food and drinks and sets it down.
Can't open. There we go.
She'll go. She's always written like this. I'll have to show you. I can do it if I really think about it, but it takes effort. For her, I think she just does it to be extra.
Does it not take a lot of ink? And
I think
she's you get the idea that she's trying to imagine like a letter and the entire letter looking like that, like super flowy and whatnot.
I think she probably uses more ink on the one word, her name, than she does in the rest of the letter. It's not as bad as you think. And she'll open the letter actually and just show you the sort of like, it's not chicken scratch on the inside, but it's certainly not the level of calligraphy that the front of the letter was.
Gotcha. Then okay, right. But, it seemed like a waste of ink.
A bit. She's not wasteful, but she is not conservative either. And Sienna will just drink her water and enjoy lunch with Elery.
Snack is bread.
And with that, we will go ahead and end tonight's session.
What a fucking session! What?
Wow.
I love this fucking game, but I could not have seen any of that coming.
Oh no!
Hell yeah.
I mean, one, I already had to think of something different for tonight. Anyways.
Yep.
Listen, sometimes you just need a beach episode, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need the you need the
Oh my god.
I cannot wait to play Reiko in the main game. In this game, I was
That's gonna be rough.
because if Serephina had stuck around, I was almost gonna kind of suggest we redo the lunch scene, because I would love the lunch scene to include the other 3. But
The way that it went down, though, this is so
Yeah.
much better.
oh yeah, Oh yeah.
So Harper, the Maka's little brother, Reiko, we
Yes.
we role played the role play session that Shailene and I were talking about right at the top of the session that we lost my side of the audio for was a pretty strong flirtation between Sienna and Reiko.
Oh yeah.
And that happened after the interaction with Elery in terms of timeline.
No fucking
So it's between when they meet up back at the end.
That like quasi joke insight roll was actually kind of like into it.
That's why we were both like, yes!
Yeah. So, what is his intent?
You're picking up on exactly what that is.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to be an interesting reconciliation.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay. I love it. Okay.
Because when the dice were fucking me.
Whoa.
You okay there, Mel?
You good? It cut out on you. You were like, the dice were fucking, and then there was a boom. Like, are you good?
Uh-oh.
Let's just go on.
Well,
Hello.
shit.
Shit, okay.
Is this thing on?
There you go. There you are.
You know?
That's really funny. Anyway, you're
Wait, so when the dice were fucking me over, which my microphone didn't like because I hit my desk too hard, it was perfect because this is like all this sadness and shame, and then immediately cute boy walks in. And it's just like, oh no, I'm
going to presume like knows how to talk to you and like is like laying on the like high charisma kind of the character.
It is absolute
total opposite. He's a bean.
Really?
He's a sweet
he's a total
little
bean.
guy.
He's a total bean. No, I told Mel
So
this.
awkward and sweet.
Told Mel this is that when I was like, okay, there's gonna be Reiko. He's gonna be the younger brother. He's gonna be like this kind of, like he's gonna pump himself up a little bit more and everything. And the first interaction I had with Laurna, Maka's wife, it was like, nah. He's this cute bean, just gets all huffy and everything, and it's just like. And walks away from his situation.
That's why you guys were losing your mind when like eyes narrowed at him as he walked
Yes,
past.
yes, because it was so perfect. It
Wow.
truly couldn't have been more perfect.
Amazing. Amazing.
Oh, honestly, like that's gonna be rough.
Oh,
Because
yes.
neither of these feelings are insincere for Sienna. So this is gonna be rough.
No.
I'm so excited.
I am too.
Shit. I gotta find myself fast.
By the way, I sent you a sketch of how we're going to fix up the ring.
Yeah, and then I also put Reiko inside chat as well.
Oh my god.
But thank you guys for coming tonight. I know we went a little bit long. But we did kind of start a little bit later. We did kind of start a little bit late, so
Yeah.
but
Thanks everybody
And
for
none,
coming out.
and none of this will be taken back because it's April. It's April 1st.
No.
So this is all canon.
this is all canon. Everything that happened
100%.
tonight. Yeah, there is no April Fools here.
No, I mean there is one, but not because of the holiday.
Yeah, no. Okay.
Thanks everybody.
Thank you, everybody. We love you.
Night, everybody.
Bye.